Hey everyone, and welcome to this explainer. I am absolutely thrilled to have you here today because we are going to be looking at something that almost all of us do every single morning. For millions of people, a hot cup of coffee is just the ultimate comfort. It's a necessary jumpstart to the day, and generally, it's actually celebrated for its health benefits. But what if I told you that this beloved daily habit might secretly be causing you harm? Today, we are focusing on a really fascinating and, honestly, a highly important breakdown of how certain ways of drinking coffee could quietly be punishing one of your body's most vital organs, your kidneys.
Okay, let's dive into this because it's kind of a shocking question, isn't it? Coffee absolutely has a healthy reputation, and rightly so, for sure, in a lot of cases. But the source material we're unpacking today actually reveals a bit of a darker side. If you're making the wrong choices with your coffee habit, you could literally be placing this massive, unnoticeable burden on your kidneys. And the scary part? Kidney damage happens completely silently. Over time, these really small, everyday mistakes just kind of accumulate. They wear down your kidney function. And without you even realizing it, they could be edging you closer to severe interventions, like artificial dialysis.
So to make this incredibly easy to follow, we're going to structure this explainer as a countdown. We'll walk through the top 5 most dangerous coffee habits for your kidneys, starting at number 5 and working our way all the way down to the absolute worst habit at number 1. Now, you might find yourself guilty of a few of these, but don't panic. By the end of this countdown, you're going to know exactly what you need to change.
All right, coming in at number 5, having only coffee for breakfast. Honestly, for so many busy people rushing out the door in the morning, just grabbing a coffee feels like a totally harmless shortcut. But it is actually a major recipe for silent organ stress.
Here's exactly why that morning shortcut is so incredibly harmful. When you wake up, your body is naturally depleted of energy, right? And you're already in a state of mild dehydration. Because of this, your blood is actually thicker in the morning. If you only drink coffee, you're completely skipping the crucial food and water your body desperately needs to rebalance itself. Think of your kidney as this giant vital filter. It absolutely relies on a good balance of fluids to clean your blood. When you throw caffeine on an empty stomach, its diuretic effect kicks in, draining even more fluid from an already dehydrated body. So your kidneys are suddenly forced to filter this thick, concentrated blood with zero nutritional support. If you do this every single day, that daily friction is just going to slowly wear your kidney function down.
Moving right along to number 4 on our countdown, drinking multiple cups of highly concentrated coffee, think espresso or really strong dark drip, throughout the day.
And this brilliantly illustrates the diuretic effect. When you just overload on concentrated caffeine, that diuretic effect goes into overdrive. Your body is basically being told constantly to expel fluids, which completely wrecks your internal water balance. Your poor kidneys are then forced to work overtime, endlessly trying to adjust and regulate the fluids you just keep losing. But wait, it actually doesn't stop there. High doses of caffeine temporarily spike your blood pressure, which places a lot of structural stress on the kidneys. Plus, if you're stuck in this cycle of caffeine dependence, sipping strong coffee all day long completely disrupts your autonomic nervous system and ruins your sleep quality at night. And since the body heals during sleep, poor sleep directly delays your kidney's ability to recover from all that daytime stress.
Okay, on to habit number 3. Adding large amounts of sugar, stick sugar, or gum syrup to your coffee. Look, a little sweetness is totally fine, but multiple heavy pumps a day? That changes the risk profile dramatically.
To really understand the danger here, we have to look at the anatomy of the kidney itself. Your kidneys are essentially these complex, incredibly delicate networks of ultra-fine blood vessels. When you drink heavily sweetened coffee, like those popular canned coffees or cafe lattes that hide just massive amounts of sugar, you trigger a rapid blood sugar spike, even if you haven't actually eaten a meal. These sudden, drastic fluctuations in your blood glucose place intense physical stress on your blood vessels. Over time, this constant barrage of sugar literally damages the microscopic vessels inside your kidneys. So this habit isn't just paving the way for diabetes, it is directly degrading the very filtration system your kidneys rely on to keep you alive.
Now we've reached habit number 2, and honestly, this one is absolutely critical. Continuing to drink coffee normally, even after a health checkup, reveals weakened kidney function. The exact trap people fall into sounds a whole lot like this. Well, I only drink 1 or 2 cups. I'm not overdoing it, so I should be fine. But here's the harsh reality. Healthy kidneys? Sure, they can handle the mild fluid shifts and blood pressure changes caused by a cup of coffee. Weakened kidneys absolutely cannot. When your kidney function drops, the organ loses its capacity to maintain balance. So even the minor stimulation from a single cup of coffee, that slight diuretic push, the small blood pressure bump, it becomes a massive, heavy burden on a system that is already struggling to keep up. Because kidney damage is mostly symptomless, you just won't feel the harm you're doing until it is dangerously late. If a doctor tells you your kidneys are weak, you have got to adjust your habits immediately.
Okay, we have arrived. We've talked about skipping breakfast, chugging espresso all day, pouring in the sugar, and ignoring medical advice. But there is one habit that stands head and shoulders above the rest as the most severe, destructive thing you can do to your kidneys with coffee. Let's reveal the #1 danger. Habit number 1 is using coffee as a complete substitute for drinking actual water. It is incredibly common for people to just sip coffee from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., genuinely believing that they are hydrating themselves. So, the crucial point here is understanding the really profound difference between these two liquids. Coffee is not water. When you replace your primary hydration with a caffeinated beverage, you are just inviting chronic instability into your body. Because of that constant diuretic effect we talked about, you're actually losing fluid. Your blood becomes chronically thick and concentrated. Your kidneys, which absolutely require abundant pure water to flush out toxins, are instead forced to essentially filter sludge. And what's worse, drinking coffee constantly can actually mask your natural sense of thirst, meaning you end up drinking even less water than you should. This is especially dangerous for older adults whose baseline body water levels are naturally a bit lower anyway. Replacing water with coffee is pretty much the ultimate silent punishment for your kidneys.
But hey, take a deep breath because I have some great news for you. Coffee is not the enemy here. In fact, the source research actually points out that if it's enjoyed correctly, coffee's antioxidant properties and blood flow benefits can actually lower the risk of chronic kidney disease. How cool is that? You do not have to quit, you just have to adapt. So let's look at the rules for safe, kidney-friendly coffee drinking.
The very first rule of safe consumption is just understanding your limit, and the magic number here is 3. The sweet spot for getting all those awesome benefits of coffee without overwhelming your kidneys is a maximum of 2 to 3 cups per day. Staying within this limit pretty much ensures that you don't trigger those excessive diuretic effects or mess with your body's delicate fluid balance. Finally, just follow these 3 super simple, actionable steps to protect your kidneys every single day. Step 1. Always drink water alongside your coffee. Just never let coffee be your only source of hydration. Step 2. Try to drink it black. By cutting out the sugar in milk, you completely bypass the risk of blood sugar spikes and that nasty vascular damage we talked about. And step 3, avoid drinking coffee late at night. You've got to protect your sleep at all costs because deep restorative sleep is the only time your kidneys can truly repair and regenerate themselves.
And that brings us to the most important question of all. Knowing what you know now about exactly how your kidneys process that dark, delicious liquid, will you change how you drink your morning cup tomorrow? Think about it. Just a few simple tweaks. Drinking a glass of water first, holding back on the sugar, and capping it at 3 cups. Doing that can allow you to enjoy your absolute favorite beverage for the rest of your life while keeping your kidneys strong, healthy, and perfectly balanced. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. Stay hydrated, and I will catch you on the next one.